order. It's now 6:30. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Move on to verification and notice.
The meeting was duly noticed.
Thank you. Item number 3, public comment. We'll have any residents who would like to speak, please come up. We have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address.
Yep. Hello.
Good
Lauren
evening.
Kelly, N4203 Sleepy Hollow Road. I'm here tonight to urge you to consider having meaningful discussions with the Cambridge Fire and EMS Commission. As presented at the annual meeting, there have been significant changes in leadership. They have achieved financial stability and enacted measures to enforce accountability. All of the remaining municipalities in the district are working cooperatively to find solutions, workable, sustainable solutions, and they all know that it's imperative that they keep these vital services within budget parameters and have continual monitoring. The Wild West that it once was is no more. It's gone. All the reasons Oakland left the commission or the district have been addressed. So it's now time for the Oakland board to see if there is an opportunity for us to resume at least some, if not full coverage with the service that's right next door to us, especially surrounding the area surrounding Lake Ripley. I've given a lot of thought to last month's meeting. It really caught me off guard when no one seconded Joy's motion to add fire and EMS to the agenda. Who, I wonder, do you represent? Because the Oakland residents that attended the annual meeting, they filled this entire room and unanimously supported engaging in discussions with Cambridge Fire and EMS. Unanimous. As I understand, the only way for the board to consider items for discussion is if they are on the agenda. Why then would only one board member think that listening to their constituents is a good idea? I'll ask again, who do you represent? Because if you're protecting the opinions of other board members or being influenced by other board members, that's not your job. And if you're discussing town business outside of these meetings, you're violating the open meetings law. That includes persuading board members through a series of individual conversations. You were elected to represent the people. The people told you what they want. I would guess that there were probably 30 to 40 people here at that meeting. So I'd be curious to know if each of you has had contact discussions with that same amount of people, 30 or 40 people, telling you, we don't want you to talk to Cambridge EMS. Otherwise, you really need to ask yourself why you've decided that you don't care what your constituents want, and that's not fair representation. We left the Cambridge Fire and EMS district partially due to lack of transparency, and now look at what you as a board are doing. If you have some reasoning behind not even engaging in discussions, the public should be made aware of those reasons because trust in this board is failing.
3 minutes are up.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Would anyone else like to come up?
Thanks for your time. Once again, I'm going to pass out an example of some data collection. The dates mean nothing. This is only an example of what data collection can look like and how it might be meaningful in a number of ways. I know I brought it up many times before, so I brought that for you for tonight. All right. My name is Sheila Palinkas. I live at N2433 Alpine Village Lane. I've lived in the town of Oakland for 23 years. I'm a former supervisor former fire commissioner, secretary treasurer, and I served 6 years as a volunteer firefighter. I completed Fire 1, Fire 2, and Fire Officer 1 through Madison College. I'm not listing these things for any type of appreciation. I'm listing them because I have spent hundreds of hours learning how emergency services actually work. The training, the administration, the operations, and the funding. When I speak on this topic, I speak from experience, not from opinion. When I served on the board, I made one commitment. I would listen to the people, I would follow the facts. I did not substitute my personal preferences for the will of the electors. I did not decide that I knew better than the people who put me in the chair. In December of '24, this board, myself included, made a difficult decision to withdraw from the Intergovernmental Agreement for Emergency Services. It was tense, it was emotional, and the room was full. But we faced the questions, we presented the data, and we explained the financial danger that the district was in. We told residents that withdrawing was temporary and that when meaningful change occurred, we would revisit the question of returning. That was the promise. A year and a half has passed. Many of the problems that forced our withdrawal have been addressed, and yet when residents ask for the next step, not a decision, just the next step, we get silence. At the annual electors meeting, more than 30 residents attended, far more than usual. Several asked for a vote directing the town board to gather information, opening dialogue, and a possible return. The votes passed unanimously. Not close, not mixed, unanimously. And since then, no agenda item, no discussion, no data collection, no explanation. This is not how representative government works. The electors choose who sits in those seats. They expect to be heard. They expect their board to investigate issues raised by the community. Simply saying we are happy with what we have is not leadership, it is not accountability, and it is not the promise that we made in 2024. No one is demanding you vote to return. What residents are asking for is basic due diligence. Collect the data, hold a public hearing, allow the community to evaluate the facts in the open. Refusing to take even these minimal steps without a substantive explanation is not responsible.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you.
Okay. Did you have a? Okay, we'll move on then to approval of minutes of the May 19th, 2026 meeting. You all received a copy of that about a week and a half ago for review. And a couple of typos were made, were corrected.
A couple of changes.
A couple changes.
That were asked for.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I move that we approve the minutes from the May 19th meeting, 2026.
Okay, Joni has made a motion. Would anyone like to second?
I will second that.
Okay, David seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approval of the meeting minutes from May 19th, 2026, say aye.
Aye?
Aye. Okay, motion carries. We will move on to the fire chief's report. Thank you for coming, Chief Peterson.
Welcome. One extra one.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you for having me. I printed a copy of the report, monthly report. That's the same one that I sent you earlier. And if you'll notice the back page, I did a special report for Oakland Township from the start of the year till the end of May. So that's for information. I'd be happy to answer any questions on that. A couple other interesting things. We've had 2 fires recently, both within the city. One on Telcott was caused by a bad ceiling fan in a bathroom. Crews did a really nice stop on that. And then another one was appeared to be some smoking on the outside of the house. That got the siding going and up into the attic space, and it was another really, really good stop on that one, so we're very proud of our staff. The maintenance of effort was sent out to the clerk. I trust you
Yep.
got that, so we can get that done for the year. The chair and I continue to serve on the EMS work group, and I think we've made some really, really good progress in the last 2 months, and getting to the point we should be sending something hopefully to the county board for their consideration. So we're really proud of that work. That's been over a year in the making at this point. We presented a fall prevention class in Oakland last month, a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago. Thank you. It was
And you're
wonderful.
welcome. We're very proud of our firefighter, Jerkins, put that on along with
Yeah.
yourself. And happy to do it any time that you feel like you'd like us to come out and host a class like that or something similar. We also had a really tragic car versus bike accident on 106 a few weeks ago. I sent you some information on that in the incident notifications. I'll leave it at that for privacy of the family. We put our light rescue boat, Zodiac type boat, into service a couple weeks ago and got it called out to Jefferson for a search and recovery of a gentleman that went overboard in the Rock River. That was a tragic incident. There was a really strong response from all the neighboring departments, and we had 13 boats in the water within probably a half hour of the call out, so we gave them every chance. Lastly, one of our part-time firefighters, Jacob Fleck, was deployed for 9 months in the Middle East and just got home a couple weeks ago, so we thank him for his service, and it's good to see him back home safe and sound. So in that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Well, thank you again for the fall prevention class. Mick did a great job. Everybody who attended left with a lot of great information, and I hope we can do it again and have more people attend. It was, I think, really well worth it.
Good, I'll
for all
pass
the
it on.
efforts.
We're happy to help anytime you need us.
Thank you.
So that, I didn't know, I thought you had said at one point that the EMS group wasn't making any progress.
Well, as he just mentioned, we hadn't been, but we started to, like, the last month or two. Started
The
to make,
last month?
basically.
Well, I wouldn't characterize it as no
Well,
progress.
no
It's
progress,
It's a
but
really
nothing.
difficult topic we brought up. There's a lot of different people in the group and a lot of education, and we had studies done by the University of Madison group that we've listened to, and it's taken us 13 months now to get where we're at. And I think we've come on a couple of really good ideas, and we're getting ready to present them to the county board, hopefully next month, once we wrap everything up, so.
So that's a district EMS?
Nope.
No.
I thought that's what it was. So
No.
what
No,
what
it was never.
exactly is it? I
Well,
guess?
I'm not prepared. We haven't finalized it, so it wouldn't be my place to
I mean, the group.
publish it. I'm sorry?
What exactly is the group?
The group is an EMS work group appointed by the county board to represent all factions of EMS in the county. So there's fire chiefs on there, there's medical doctors,
Okay. So it
there's
is
county
an EMS,
supervisors. I'm sorry?
it is EMS-based group?
No.
Well, we're studying the EMS issue and funding in Jefferson County.
Okay,
It's made up of a number of different people, including county commissioners, village managers, city managers, fire chiefs, medical doctors,
Town
town
chairs.
representatives that we fortunately have on there. So it was a wide-angle view of the issue that we're having in Jefferson County that, quite frankly, a lot of counties in Wisconsin are having also.
so it's funding, basically.
Yeah, it's funding. It's not coming up
Yep.
with a countywide system.
Okay.
That's not
Right.
the intent.
Okay. So you report on the end of the last page? The response times. So what, you have unit time en route, 2 minutes, like the first one, and then unit on scene, 12 minutes, like the first line?
Correct?
Okay.
For that incident?
So that would be like a total of 14 minutes altogether, is that?
Well, if you look on the left column there,
Okay.
is the dispatch time and the arrival time. The actual times.
Okay, I see.
So from dispatch 09 to arrival 21.
Yeah, so the on-scene time is from the time we were dispatched.
Mhm.
That's not travel time, that's total time.
Right.
Okay.
The unit time on scene is total time.
Total time from the time of dispatch.
So the most recent one. Okay. Dispatched, the last one was May 16th. Dispatched at 1:16 and arrival time at 1:30.
14 minutes.
Yeah, this was through May 31st, so June's not on here.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions for the chief? Thank you for putting that together. I
And so
appreciate
everybody
that.
knows that can't see it, we've blocked out, we've left the street address on there, we've blocked out the incident address and blocked out any medical information for type of call for privacy.
Thank you for getting the maintenance of effort report to me.
You're welcome.
It all worked very well together,
Good.
and hopefully I did it right, and it's turned into the state in time, so that's the important thing.
Thanks for
Thank you.
good report.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you very much for all you do.
Thank you.
Okay, Chief Russ had another meeting this evening, so he won't be able to join us tonight. Hopefully he'll be here next month like he typically is. So we'll move on to number 6, resolution from Officer Armando Brazzoni. I will read that. One second. Okay, resolution honoring Armando Brazzoni for service to the town of Oakland. Whereas Officer Armando Brazzoni has retired after dedicating 22 years of outstanding emeritus services to the town of Oakland, Jefferson County, Wisconsin. Whereas from May 2004 to May 2026, Officer Brazzoni served as a boat patrol and patrol officer. Whereas Officer Brazzoni played a pivotal role patrolling Lake Ripley, his many years of dedication to the town of Oakland boat patrol kept residents of the town of Oakland safe and enjoying the lake. Officer Brazzoni played a vital role in deploying the boat each year, making sure it was ready for hours of patrol, whereas citizens could also catch Officer Brazzoni out patrolling the town roads. Whereas Officer Brazzoni's passion for law enforcement could be seen in his day-to-day activities and interactions with the public. Whereas residents of the town of Oakland will surely miss seeing his smiling face out on the water. Whereas he has been a dedicated teacher in special education since 1995 for the MPS school system, which shows a continued desire to serve others. Therefore, be it resolved that we, the Town of Oakland Board of Supervisors and Police Department, do hereby extend to Officer Armando Brazzoni our sincere and grateful appreciation for his dedicated service to the Town of Oakland, Jefferson County, Wisconsin. Our congratulations on his well-earned retirement and our best wishes for a happy and healthy retirement. Okay. So,
Yes, he will be.
Sure. Police Chief Leonard will have a few comments in a few minutes, but would anybody from the board like to make any comments?
I'd just like to say the work that he's done on Lake Ripley with the boat patrol has been outstanding for all the years that he's done that. He surely will be missed, very loved member of the community, and I hope he comes back to visit a few times because I like to do a story about him. So.
Great, thank you.
Were you here last week when he stopped in?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, hopefully he'll come to visit more. Okay, we will move on to
Can I
police.
ask where he lives? Does he live in the area?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
suppose he works at the NPC.
Mhm.
Okay.
He just loved coming here and enjoyed his weekends on, or the summers on,
Sure.
on the lake. Okay, we'll move on to police report. Thank you for coming. And thank you to Moose.
Moose thinks that the clapping was for him.
Aw.
All right, thank you for the resolution. Officer Brazzoni has actually been in law enforcement for quite a number of years. He actually started his career down in the village of Palmyra Police Department. I actually worked with him on and off just through working with him through the county. And then he came out here to work the Town of Oakland Boat Patrol when he resigned from that position in Palmyra. I know he just loved doing boat patrol. He loved doing the road patrol. And I know it was a very hard decision for him to decide to retire from law enforcement completely. He did stop down here a few days ago. It was nice to see him. He looks very well. He would have come today except for he had a physical therapy appointment and it just ended, so it would have taken him way too long to get here. But thank you for that resolution. It's much appreciated, and we don't get to do that often. Seeing law enforcement officers actually retire very well from law enforcement. So I'm glad that he is doing well enough that he can do that and enjoy the rest of his life. On to other things. I'm hoping that the board will approve a new hire, Officer James Mosel. He actually works for the Fort Atkinson Police Department. I supervise him on second shift patrol. He's a very good officer. He has at least 3 years plus of experience now as a full-time police officer. He's very eager to work road patrol and boat patrol. He has a strong desire for that. He is a good boat operator too, I've heard. He is in the military. He serves for the Army. He has an excellent knowledge of Wisconsin state statute, including traffic enforcement and criminal law. He'll be starting hopefully at the end of June or the beginning of July, pending the board approval for the hire. And he will train with Lieutenant Klemke when he starts to become familiar with the Oakland Police Department procedures. It should be a short training period. As with all of my officers, they're all very experienced and well-knowledged in specifically traffic enforcement and criminal law, so he should be a really quick train for that. Our boat patrol is off to a pretty good start. It is a little bit slow, obviously. I do have a brand new department. I only have 2 officers right now that are well-versed in DNR boating law and boating operation. So those 2 officers I rely on heavily to train the new officers. All of the new officers that I brought on board have a strong desire to do the boat patrol as well as road patrol. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get them all acclimated to boating and boating law. They have been out a few times already throughout the week, and hopefully they'll be getting out on the weekends here soon. So we have 3 officers that have already been out on boat patrol with Officer Jekanowski. They've been training with him the last 2 times they went out. We do have boat patrol officer opportunities to attend the DNR boat training in July, which I will host at the Fort Atkinson Police Department. And we have also been offered a boating standardized field sobriety testing, which is basically like the road patrol SFST testing, but it's for boat patrol. So that's going to be in July, so I'm hoping that at least 3 to 4 of my officers will be able to attend that training. It's a slightly different type of testing compared to road patrol because it's basically a sitting type test that they do on the boat when they suspect somebody of operating while intoxicated. Warden Brooks, if you guys are familiar with him, he has also offered to help get our officers acclimated to boat patrol and DNR law. So that was a great help from him. I'm very excited that he said he would do that. Like to draw the community members to Facebook. We do have a Town of Oakland Facebook page. It's a good place to find information about new things that are coming up in the township or things that we think are important for DNR laws or ATV and UTV issues. So I encourage community members to look that up on Facebook and become a follower. I try to update the page as often as I can with new laws or changes, especially as it relates to the town of Oakland specifically.
Is that, what is that? Is it under the Oakland Police Department? or-
Yes, it's the Town of Oakland Police Department
Okay,
Facebook page.
okay.
So it's monitored by myself, and Officer Kleist has offered to post things on there when necessary, so we're the two that manage it. It is a good place to find information because we'll post links on there too, so people don't have to go searching on the internet for things that we're posting. They just click on the link and it'll take it directly to that page.
Okay.
So we'll continue to update that as we go throughout the year and things arise in the community. CPR class was a good turnout. I was glad to see the Town of Oakland employees attend. And then I had one police officer that needed to have recertification, so she also attended that. I did receive a lot of positive comments from people about the class because it's updated CPR procedures and AED use. So thank you for attending that. Also drawing your attention to DNR regulations for ATV and UTV operations. You should look that up online if you plan on operating ATV or UTVs. There are some changes that occurred recently with the DNR. There's some new laws that have taken place. Those can be found on pages, I believe, 3 and 4 of the manual. If you go to the dnr.wisconsin.gov site and then click on Ride Safe, Ride Smart tab, that will take you to the ATV and UTV regulations. So it's really important that people pay attention to those because our officers will enforce violations of those.
We shared those to the website also
That's good.
for you.
Yeah, and then, of course, they have to obey the Town of Oakland ordinances as well, so they should brush up on that too.
Do we need to make any revisions to our ordinance based on recent DNR changes?
I don't think so. I think our ordinance probably says we adopt all the DNR laws, excuse me. So you shouldn't have to make any revisions. The only issue would be is if ours were less restrictive than the state statute. You always have to have it to equal state statute or more restrictive. You can never be less restrictive. But as long as our ordinances adopt the state ordinances, we shouldn't have to make any changes.
Okay.
That is all I have for the chief's report. Did anybody have any questions or
So
comments?
with these new UTV laws now, they're supposed to be wearing helmets and seatbelts.
Yes, and it depends on the type of,
How does that pertain to the golf carts that come zipping? through
golf
the
carts
corner?
are not allowed on the roadway.
So the ones
at
that are
all.
on the roadway now are
That is illegal.
totally illegal, okay?
Yeah, so there's a lot of debate about golf carts. I kind of figured somebody would bring those
Yeah,
up.
no, I'm just curious
Yeah.
because, I mean, that's a big thing and if.
Yep. Golf carts are technically considered a toy vehicle. They're not actually meant for road operation, and you cannot make them road safe because of how they're built. So in order for a golf cart to actually be considered road safe, they have to meet all these requirements through the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, which golf carts don't usually meet. The only thing that the town could do to allow golf carts to operate on the roadway is only to cross the roadway, but they cannot actually operate on the roadway. So if people are driving on the roadways to go down to the beach on Ripley or go to the bars downtown, that is actually illegal, and they can get fined for that, written citations.
I thought if they had a license, I mean, if they're registered through the DOT and have seatbelts and the windshield and all that.
Like I just said, certain types of vehicles can be made to meet all of the Wisconsin Department of Transportation requirements. That is very rare, and it would have to fall in line with everything that they have. If they go down to the DOT and they meet all of those regulations, the DOT will issue a license for those vehicles to be on the roadway. But most golf carts, I'd say 90% of golf carts are not to be operated on the roadway. That's illegal.
Correct. I mean, that's what I was understanding.
Yeah, and they're not low-speed vehicles. Those are also different according to Wisconsin state statute. So if that's something that people want to look at, they should look up the Wisconsin state statute and how those items fall within the statute. And they specifically say low-speed vehicles do not include golf carts.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question about, because I'm new, about what percentage of time do your officers do boat patrol versus road patrol? And I realize summer is different than clearly the other part of the year. Just
Yeah, I mean,
curious how many hours a
Right
week
now,
there are.
right now, the road patrol it's more heavily on that end of it.
Sure.
Lieutenant Klemke works two to 3 days out of his week, and he does a majority of road patrol, so it is heavily weighted on road patrol. I couldn't even give you an estimate right now because the department is so new that I can't send, for example, Officer Broughton is here. I can't just send her out to operate on boat patrol. She has to wait for somebody else that can train her to do that before she can get out there.
Gotcha.
So summer, we try to get them out as much as we can, especially on the weekends, because that's when we're going to have our high volume of boating traffic. It just depends. I really wish I could give you an answer to that.
We do
But-
have the data, though. We have the data from the past years on how many hours
Yeah,
they log, because it's reimbursable by the DNR, and is it just the DNR?
it's the DNR, yeah. And
Okay.
I have the hours in my office. I don't recall off the top of my head. And the DNR, what they do is every month when I submit my report for the previous month, the DNR takes a look at the hours and the totals, and they tell me, just to let you know, you need to meet this many hours in order to be eligible for reimbursement.
Okay.
So they kind of help me out to let me know that I need to either increase it or decrease it depending on what it is. It's usually never decreased, it's always increased.
Okay.
And we did fine meeting that amount of hours that we needed last year, so we did get reimbursed this year, which was a fair amount. I think we got, I want to say 65 or 70% back from last year.
It's a lot. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
fair. And I went to the mandatory DNR boat training this year, and I found out there's some stuff that we can also claim in addition to what we're claiming now that would meet their qualifications to get reimbursement back.
All right, thank you.
And I can definitely get that data for you guys if you want it for the next meeting, not a problem. I don't want to look at this year as the key year, because I got to get these guys
Perfect,
trained.
yeah. I just was curious, because how is it different in the town of Oakland versus other municipalities? And it's good to hear that the DNR reimburses that, because I was thinking, boy, that's a lot of cost to have a lake, and how does that?
Yeah, so
So-
then the majority of the patrol is obviously on Ripley Lake, because that's the one that we have the most boating and the most boating problems, things that happen. Town of Lake Mills, for example, they go up to Rock Lake a lot. That's pretty much their big lake that they patrol.
Sure.
Much larger lake, much more violations, so they're probably pretty similar to us when we have a full staff. We're pretty equal, I think, when we go out on patrol.
Okay.
Any further questions? Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 8, discussion and possible action to hire James Mosel. The chief just gave us some information on the proposed hire. So is there any additional questions on him that she can answer?
I'll make a motion to approve James Mosel for the next hire.
Okay, we have a motion from Jimmy. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion second. Any further discussion? Okay, here none. All in favor of hiring James Mosel as a new police officer, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to Item number 9, discussion and possible action to grant mobile home licenses for the period July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. We have the Ripview on Ripley Road, Oak Ridge, down Treeloft Road, as well as Breezy Knoll right here next door on County Road A.
There is no reason that I can give you that they should not be approved. It looks like it's pretty standard procedure from the research that I've been able to pull out of the files. So it's a question of them turning in a $100 application fee along with the application for the license. You guys vote on whether you want to approve it or not. After it's approved, in theory, if you guys approve it, I will go ahead and print up a new license for them, which then they will stop into the office and pick up, or I will deliver to the trailer parks.
So they've already paid their fee, though.
They have paid their fee. They send that in with an application, yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve Ripview, Oak Ridge, and Breezy Knoll mobile home licenses.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Jimmy and a second by Joni. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of approving the mobile home licenses for Ripview, Oak Ridge, and Breezy Knoll, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, we'll move on to discussion and possible action regarding liquor licenses for establishments in Oakland for the period of July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. We have a number here, Class B beer and Class B liquor licenses from the Bait Shanty, Cash and Olives, LR Pizza, also known as Lake Ripley Lanes, the Lake Ripley Country Club, Oakland Center Tavern, Jefferson Speedway, Herring's Lake Ripley Inn, Deerfield Grill, also known as the Mink Farm Tavern, Warm Belly Farm, and the Gathering Barn at Busy Barn Adventures.
The only one that is new to us is Busy Barn Adventures. They got the above quota liquor license that was made available to them specifically for the new law that the Division of Alcoholic Beverages put into place for a venture like theirs, a wedding barn primarily. Not that isn't the only thing, but it is, in their case, a wedding barn. So all of the rest of them have been in business, and it's simply the renewal. This will be getting Busy Barn also onto the same schedule that all the rest of them will be, which will be the July 1st. Their new license will start through June of next year.
And they're the only wedding barn that has applied?
They are the only ones that have applied. I understand that there are more wedding barns in the area,
Yes.
and Afton, who is with Busy Barns, thought that they would be applying, but they have not.
Did you find out if we have a limit on the number that we can do
Of additional licenses
for barns?
for wedding barns, it would have to be an above quota license, like the one that we did for Busy Barns. And I believe they only have until August of this year in order to get that application in. Otherwise, at that point, they will not be granted a license.
What does above quota mean? Is that like a reserve liquor
We
license?
have a
or is that-
certain quota, a certain amount of licenses that we
We
can
have
issue
9,
that are based on the
Population.
population.
Mhm.
As the population takes and goes up, you can acquire another regular license. Since the wedding barns were such a new venture, if they applied up until, like I said, I believe it's August of this year, the wedding barn could qualify for an above quota. So I could say, all right, our quota of 9 is already full, but the state will let me issue this to you above the quota for you to be able to have alcohol, because this is something totally new to the state. It just went into effect this year. If they would decide to get out of the business or whatever, the license does not transfer. I mean, it sticks with Busy Barn Ventures. So
So then, if anybody purchased that, they would not be able to get
They
a
would not be able to
license
have it.
because it's after the August
Yep.
date.
that's my understanding.
Wow.
Well, they tried to get it in and tried to be very specific about it, and she had to jump through lots of hoops. She had to present lots of paperwork, had to turn in forms showing what their sales were, because the sales had to be, beyond a certain amount. And I was actually very surprised. She came in, I filled out the part that I needed to, we sent it in, and I thought it would take the state a long time to get it done, as it does with some of the other things, but it came back very, very quickly. So I was surprised by how quickly they handled it.
So should we put something on our website? I assume that they know this,
If
but
they're in business, I have a feeling they know about it. They just chose not to follow through with it.
would it be a problem to put something on?
No,
there?
it wouldn't
Just-
be a problem to put it on there at all.
I think that might be a good idea, because we don't want to lose their business,
Right.
and if they
Talking about
can't get
I
it.
think we're talking about other
I mean,
barns.
the
don't know
other-
them.
other barns?
The
Sure.
other barns,
Other
I know of
barns.
one for sure, another one because my husband and I went there to a wedding
Right.
reception. And Afton, who's one of the owners of Busy Barn, she's like, did they contact you about getting the paperwork all filled out? And I told her, no, I haven't heard anything from them.
Well, and it used to be where the caterer would hold the license. I went to a wedding for my niece, and I believe that's how it worked. They were able to serve
I
alcohol
think it
and beer.
depends, and don't quote me on this, but I think it depends on whether alcohol is brought in by somebody else or whether they have bartenders there to serve. There are lots of rules and regulations
Yeah.
that go along with it.
I think it's different if you have to pay to purchase an alcoholic beverage, or if it's just for free. That also makes a difference, I believe, in the
And this
permitting process.
also didn't apply just to wedding barns. If it was a public venue, like say we had a gazebo out here, or say we rented out the hall and we were going to let someone sell alcohol here. I don't know why we would, but suppose we did. It's different for us here because we're a government entity. That makes a difference versus, say, the bank in town. If they had a room that they could rent out and they could sell alcohol, they might have to get, there's a short, I don't remember what the name of it is. There is another permit that they can get if they're only going to have like 2 or 3 events during the entire
Temporary.
year.
Actually read about this today, because I was curious about this. So it was called a temporary.
Okay.
It's like a
Class
picnic.
B,
Yeah, they also call it like picnic license.
Like
Yeah,
when the,
but picnics.
like when the Lions Club does
Yep.
foundation.
Yep,
parties.
and
Yeah.
we had that. The Lions Club came in and got a temporary
Yeah.
picnic license.
Yeah.
So they can still get that if they have like maybe 3 weddings.
Well, it has to be very limited during the year. I don't know how many they host during the year.
Well, it will be up to them. I mean, they are business, and they need to understand their rules and
Yeah, we
requirements
can
for
go ahead
that.
and post it on the website next to the other permits and things like that.
Okay.
I think it would be,
With
No,
the
no, it
time-
would be easy.
transparent.
With the time-sensitive date.
Yes,
And
with
good
a time,
until.
with a time-sensitive date, exactly.
Yeah. So what about the, I don't know what the name of it is, strawberry picking place
Warm belly.
off of Highway C?
Is that Warm Belly?
I think that must be the
No.
Warm Belly Farm?
Is that Warm Belly? Okay.
Warm Belly does have a couple,
they're just-
they have the one that's on County Road C, and then actually they
Oh.
have another location
Yeah.
because the guy
That
was
must be
telling
the
me-
one
yeah,
I'm
they-
thinking
Yeah,
of.
they have a license.
That's the one I'm thinking of then, because I know they came in. Now, you said the Class A is just to sell?
Class A, and this was something that I discovered when going through this, because this is my first time having to do all of the liquor licenses. So I pulled out Publication 309, which you guys don't need to know about. It's basically the Bible for alcohol licensing. And when I was looking at it, it said that Type A licenses are only supposed to be issued to, say, a retail establishment, a gas station, a liquor store, a grocery store. At Class B, you can still sell alcohol to be taken off the premises, or you can sell it there. And when I talked to the lady at Division of Alcoholic Beverages, she said there should never be a combination of an A and B license. It should either be one or the other. And that's why you see these done a little differently, because
Yeah,
that's
'cause
what,
In the past, we had done the Class A.
And like I said, I don't know if it was a change from the Department of Alcoholic Beverages doing something just a little bit different, but this is what she told me, because I said, well, I have some here, and it says A and B, and one of the ladies questioned me when she brought her application in, because it said she could only check 2 boxes on the application, and she's like, so I can't do this, and she's like, no, there should never be an A and a B together.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And I didn't mention, but we do have the Class B beer only. That would be the only one that would not
Yep.
have the liquor at the
Yep.
Oakland Conservation Club. So for them, they would only be able to sell the beer.
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the Class B liquor licenses as presented in this document.
Okay. Motion by Jimmy.
So does that include the Oakland? The ones that were read off were under A. So,
To include,
So they're all.
To include
I think
everything
Jimmy
in
is
this
saying all
document.
based
Oh,
on
oh.
this listing here.
All based
Okay.
on the listing under,
I'll second that then.
okay. All in favor of issuing the liquor license for Class B beer and Class B liquor, as well as the Class B beer only, say aye.
aye?
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Nice job putting that together, too. It's a lot clearer. Nice to see.
So are there no Class A liquor license in town of Oakland?
Correct.
I guess there's not a lot of retail.
Right. Okay, so we'll move on to 11, discussion and possible action regarding cigarette licenses for the time period of July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. People applying include the Lake Ripley Country Club on Highway 12, the Mink Farm Tavern, and the Cash and Owls Pub, all on Highway 12.
And they are the only 3 that sell cigarettes or vaping products that are licensed for it. So that's why I just presented them on the agenda.
Ah, that's why, okay.
Okay.
I guess this is a procedural thing for all of this, so it's really, we're just knowing that you've looked at this and
Yep.
checked the regulations, and we're just
Yep.
codifying that by,
You're saying, yes, I approve of it, or
Yeah.
no, I don't want them to. It also gets published in the paper 3 days in a row, all
Okay.
of these things. So if there were any citizens that had a problem with, say, the bar down the street was having problems with, I don't know, fighting or something was
underage
going on
kids
that,
buying cigarettes.
well, that too. Then they could go ahead and they could come and they could object to them being issued a license.
Gotcha.
So they've all submitted their applications and paid their fees, and they've been,
Background checked.
yeah,
Background check for all
background
the
check.
operators' licenses, yep,
Okay.
those will be upcoming.
Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the cigarette license for the time period July 1st through 2026 to June 2027 for the 3 mentioned establishments.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the cigarette license as presented, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay.
Didn't think I'd ever approve a cigarette license.
Why didn't go? Why didn't do it?
I would be much happier with no cigarettes, but
It's all good.
It's all
sounds
good.
good.
Okay, so we'll move on to discussion and possible action on operator's license from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. You do have a list in your packet. It consists of 84 who are applying, and it shows everyone's name as well as the establishment that they will be working at.
We had a question on the one person,
Yes, on Mr. Henricks.
correct?
His trial is still pending.
Yeah.
Hearing is to be held in July. He is accused of the 2 offenses. both OWI and blood alcohol above the certain percentage. He no longer wears the scram bracelet and has not for some time since a motion was made for him not to have to do that because the officer who charged him is still deployed, is supposed to be coming back in September. It would be my recommendation, if you were going to offer him a license, that that license be revoked upon his conviction of a third offense. The offense is something that relates directly to the job he's doing. It is my feeling if he cannot handle alcohol himself by going out and doing whatever he was doing, I don't know if he was over the line, I don't know what, whatever reason the officer stopped him and charged him with these two offenses. If he can't handle alcohol himself, I don't think it's a good idea for him to be serving alcohol at an establishment. That is my feeling on the matter. Everyone else that is on the list has been checked. I've done background checks on them. None of them have offenses that, well, some of them have no offenses whatsoever. Others might have something like speeding ticket or something like that that don't pertain to the work that they're doing. So I would recommend approvals for all of them without hesitation.
Okay. I do have some concerns about Mr. Henricks. Last year, I did have quite a bit of reservations regarding him, but considering that he had the scram bracelet on, I thought it
What
would.
is that?
It is a bracelet that he's required to wear by the government, I guess.
It's issued through the court system for usually operating while intoxicated offenses. It depends on the type of offense, usually it's second or over. And then it will detect if somebody has ingested alcohol.
Gotcha.
It's attached to their skin on the ankle usually.
Gotcha.
That's how he had it on his ankle.
Okay.
But now there's really no verifiable way to ensure that he's not drinking. He's been charged, and I just don't think at this time there's any safeguards in place, and the case is still pending.
He
And
hasn't been convicted of this yet.
I understand that, but there's some serious charges, and if he doesn't have to bartend, he can do something else. And if he's not guilty, I feel like he could apply next year. But I feel that this is a reason why we do background checks, and I feel this is a serious matter that could potentially get the town into trouble.
So that was going to be my question. Is he a danger to himself, or is he a danger to others? And by letting him have a liquor license or a license to serve, what risk does that put the town at?
We don't know what the circumstance of his charge is.
Okay.
So we don't know if it was a danger to himself or a danger to others.
Well,
I can
he
give you a
was-
little bit of background. He's been in front of our board one time, and we've heard the case, I think, twice, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
One time, the first time that he came to the board, our attorney was here, and we asked that question. And he said it was fine at that time.
Okay.
Well, he said most likely if somebody sued us, we would not, probably in the end, we would not be held liable for anything that happened when somebody left or he left the bar and was overserved.
So what is the purpose of us being able to say yay or nay to somebody being able to serve if there's not some liability that we're taking on?
I think there is liability. That's why we do background checks. And there is law that states if you're convicted or if you have charges against you that relate to what you're doing, then that is a reason not to issue the license. And this directly is related to his job description.
I don't, is
I
that,
will let you know, Joan, just for my own benefit, I went to do a little research, and the city of Lake Mills did deny him a license.
What were you going to say, Joy?
I mean, is that in the statutes? What
It's
you
guidance
just repeated?
It's guidance.
It's guidance
from
document.
the state.
It's guidance
Guidance from
document.
the state.
So it's not.
It's not a law.
It's not a law, but it's
not
guidance
something that we
document.
can be sued for.
I don't know that to be true.
Could be sued for anything, but we
Right.
asked our attorney when he was here, and he didn't have a problem with it. We've approved it twice already.
Yeah.
Right.
And and the
And
reason
nothing's
why we've
changed.
approved it twice is because he hasn't
Not
been
convicted.
convicted yet. He's still pending
Right.
trial or
And
whatever.
it's not his fault.
So if
The
there-
officer is deployed that charged him. So they need the officer to testify at a
delaying
trial.
Gotcha.
And they can't do that until he's back.
So the board, in the last couple times, have pretty much agreed to wait for that to play out before
Gotcha.
we'd actually deny it.
So is there a reason we wouldn't do that same thing this time? Take just that bracelet?
Yeah, that's my concern. That is my concern for this. I think it's irresponsible for us to approve it. I think it's highly irresponsible.
I don't know anything about the bracelet, but was that obviously approved for him to remove it?
The
Or are you
reason
saying
it was approved per the court case was because they argued he was having to pay so much money for having the bracelet each week. So the fact that the officer was deployed, they felt
Got
that
it.
it was too great of a hardship for him to have to continue to pay the money while this officer
So
was
they
deployed.
felt he was safe to remove the bracelet?
Well, I don't know that they felt he was safe to remove it. They felt that it was too much of an economic hardship for him to have to wear it
And when we
when
did,
the officer was not
right,
there.
when we did approve it, he had to come in every week and give us his report from the county. That he.
Right,
he
until
was-
the second time he came in, and then we knew that he wasn't going to have the bracelet anymore.
Right.
And then we still approved it.
Well, it was because it was mid-year. But I don't feel comfortable with this at all.
I think you're innocent until you're proven guilty.
I would also tell you that when I went to the training that I went to in Watertown regarding alcohol, I brought this up at the meeting, and several people approached me when we were on break and basically couldn't believe that this is what had happened,
What had happened?
That we
that we approved it. The first time, I can understand. A second time is a little iffy. Maybe you haven't learned your lesson. A third time, even a third charge, I have a problem with that. Ultimately, I will do what the board decides, but I think it would be best to say if he is convicted, that the license will be revoked.
So we're at that same spot again, if he's convicted.
Well, David, I told you, I don't feel comfortable with it because I'm the one who's printing up the license. I'm the one who's signing my name on it,
That's pretty much
even
where
though
we.
it's you guys voting
That's
on
pretty
it.
much where we ended both the other times,
Yeah.
is waiting for this court trial
Right.
to come out. And that,
As
so.
of right now, approve it until he's been proven guilty.
Well, he
Well,
was
and is
charged
that
because
what-
his blood alcohol level was above.
He's accused.
Yeah,
Is
but
that what the motion is going to be, though, that if he is found guilty?
Have him put the bracelet back on and resume the reporting to you every week. Then you know if he's drinking or not drinking.
Ultimately, though, it's not up to the board to make him put the bracelet on, it's up to the court. The judge is the one that ordered it to be removed.
But couldn't that be a condition of his license?
I don't think we have the power to do that, quite honestly.
Because I remember being at that meeting when he got it conditionally, and it was conditional upon him reporting every week.
Correct.
So I thought, why did he ask for it to be taken off? Because that seems like it could jeopardize his license. But he opted for that versus protecting his license. So it kind of seems on him a little bit to like, he violated his license. Sorry.
Well,
Makes a good point. Thank you. Well, everyone has a choice for the voting.
Well, are you okay with a motion that says that in the event he's convicted, that he will relinquish that license? That is what I would like to see if you're going to offer it to him.
I think you could approve the license, and if there is a conviction, then we revisit it. I think that's probably the best way to
I
do
think
it.
we need to make a motion to do it
I'll
at
make
this
that
point.
motion then. I'll make a motion to approve all 84 of the licenses, and as far as number 51, John Hendricks, if there is a conviction, that we bring it back in front of the board at that time.
Okay,
I'll
we have a-
second that.
Okay, I would like to amend that motion, and I would like to separate it out I make a motion to, or amendment to approve all of everyone but number, what did you say, Jimmy? 51, to approve all but John Henricks for the liquor license, and then make a separate motion.
I don't understand your...
I would like to separate it out. I would like to separate it
Do
out.
two motions.
Do two motions.
You want two separate
Can we
motions in your
do
amendment?
his first?
Sure.
Just so that I know what that's about before we separate
I
the others? I guess I'm
I
just,
would like to make a motion to approve all of the applicants except for John Hendricks and have him under a separate motion. We did that last time.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor of approving all of the liquor license on here except for John Henricks, say aye. Aye. And then I would make a motion, then I would have
Any
somebody
nay?
make a motion for John Henricks separately.
Not any other option?
What's that?
You didn't give the other option.
What?
of a-
The voting?
Yeah.
To vote it,
I don't know
vote
if-
for
I
it
didn't hear it.
separately.
I think what he's saying is he didn't have a chance to vote.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My apologies.
Did you have any
Is-
nays?
Any nays?
Any nays? No? Okay.
No, as long as we can make another motion.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll make
Yes.
the motion that we approve John Hendricks's liquor license until the trial. When we get the results of the trial, we'll revisit it.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor of the motion to approve John Henricks' license to be visited upon if he's convicted of
Upon the results of
the
the trial.
results of the trial.
I seconded it.
Okay.
I've got it.
All right, so that's what I said. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? I'm opposed.
He'll be in jail.
Oh, that'll make the decision a little bit easier.
Convicted of third offense.
Okay, we'll move on to discussion and possible action on amending Section 3 of Ordinance 3, prohibiting the use of watercraft being propelled by motors in the man-made channel area of Lake Ripley, and to prohibit entirely the use of motorized watercraft on Red Cedar Lake and Hope Lake Road. So you have that in your packet. So this is just continuation of what we had been doing. So the ordinance is amended to reflect the fee schedule. So we've taken the amounts of the violation out of the ordinance, and we're just stating that it is now into the fee schedules. So we would need a motion when we're amending it to place it in Chapter 4 Waterways of our Code of Ordinances.
All right, I make a motion that we repeal and recreate Section 3 of Ordinance 3 and place it into Chapter 4 Waterways.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion?
I'd like to just renew my comments that I believe that we should have just done the whole ordinance. Now we have
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is our 5th ordinance 3.
Okay, well, duly noted, but we've already made those decisions. So, any further comments? Okay, hearing,
How many fee schedule things are there?
how many ordinances
How many
that have?
ordinances related to fees are there?
There were
Um,
lots.
there
I
were
can't give you an
Okay.
exact.
There were about, I think
Right.
I
there,
can't give you
Yeah.
an exact
Okay.
number
I'm
because
sorry, I'm
there were
asking for
no,
these
no,
numbers.
that's perfectly fine.
I believe
But
it
going
was,
through
I believe it
and
was around
looking-
35.
Okay, so how many more years are you going to be on the board, Joy? Because
It's
You're
a
just
good
gonna-
question. I've been on 13. I
you
don't
go.
know if I'm going to make it past that.
Okay.
Okay,
We can get through it.
all right. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Opposed?
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We will move on to discussion and possible action on amending sections 2.8 A and B of ordinance 2023-02, regulating the fees for use of the public boat launch ramp. And so this, again, is just amending the section that now states that any penalties will be shown in the fee schedule, and we will also need to include in the motion that this will be placed in Chapter 4 of the waterways of the Code of Ordinances. Did anyone have any questions about that one? You can see there's launch fees is Section A, and daily permits.
And this will make it easier because when the auditors were here and talked to them about making additional revenue being a way to help bring the fund balance back into balance rather than having it be negative as it is now. We've been talking a little bit in the office just about, the currently it's $7. I had to, for daily passes, I had to order some more envelopes today. We only ordered so many in the thoughts that, well, maybe we'll raise it to $8. Maybe there's a certain formula you have to follow and you can only go so high, but maybe we want to make the other passes, the season ones, make some more changes regarding how much does a senior citizen pay versus how much does a citizen pay versus how much does someone who's out. They're currently different amounts now, but maybe they should be raised based on what some other municipalities around us do with their fees.
Well, that's exactly what we did when we looked at the fee schedule last time, is we actually looked at the surrounding areas too.
Right.
So
And we
I'm
can
just
do
saying
that.
that would be an easy way then with it in the fee schedule for you guys to make a change without having to change
Right.
the entire ordinance.
And we could
Yeah.
discuss that during our budget season, our budget discussions. We don't want to make any changes in the middle of the season,
Nope.
but we will get to that in the,
Well, and
Fee
this used to
schedule.
actually be for parking.
Yes, we changed it at one point.
Yeah. It wasn't for launching, it was a parking fee.
Right.
But now
So
I've
I
been
don't know
told
what
that-
happened to that
Well, I
ordinance.
don't know. Now I've been told, because I asked Leanna one day, we had the question about, well, if it's a canoe, it's not a motorized boat, do we still charge? And she basically told me, anything that gets launched into the lake gets charged.
We
That's what
actually,
she-
there is document on it because we voted on it.
Okay.
And I don't remember that exact detail, but we did change it.
okay. Any other questions? Okay, would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2023-02 for the regulation fees of the boat launching permit to be adopted to this, it's Chapter 4, you said, right?
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of amending ordinance 2023-02, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We will move on to discussion and possible action on repealing, recreating ordinance number 53 with ordinance 2026-53, establishing liquor and cigarette license fees. So you should be happy, Joy. This whole thing is going to be repealed and recreated
In
as-
its entirety.
in its entirety.
But
Be-
it's not,
Is it the only number 53?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Well,
done.
I'll tell you right now.
A lot of this added language in red, is that due to state regulate, or state ordinances, or state statutes, or?
Yeah, I have that here.
Some of it is
Some of
above
it.
quota.
So we're doing the fee schedule, updates for above quota licenses, such as the Busy Barn that we just talked about. We talked about removing language about the $5 charge for Class B wine license and Class B fermented malt beverage retailers license if both taken for same event, and that will be on the fee schedule. We're noting that the operator licenses are only for 1 year, breaking out of the renewal and new operator license as there are different charges for each. And a new section has been added for agent fee, publication fee, and background check fees, and we moved the old section 4 to section 5. So, and you can see on here, you have the red line. You can see where those were done.
You should have both, Joy, the
Yeah.
red line and the regular.
So this takes two, there's two 53s on here now, but this will make it only one.
Yes, so this will be the only one.
I'll make a motion to approve, to repeal and recreate the ordinance number 53, 2026-53, establishing liquor licenses and cigarette licensing fees, and be added to the chapter 4.
Oh, chapter 1.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I say?
Chapter 1, license and permits.
Okay, sorry, chapter 1, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, do I have a motion from Jamie? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of repealing and recreating ordinance number 53 to ordinance 2026-53 in its entirety for establishing liquor and cigarette license fees, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Here we are moving on. Excuse me, I am out of order. Do you have page,
2025-74.
I need the agenda.
Oh, the agenda, I'm sorry.
My apologies.
The bigger table.
I do need a bigger table.
You need the second page?
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on to number 16, discussion and possible action on amending section 4, A, B, C, and D of ordinance 2025-74, compost facility regulations. This is a newer ordinance that we established at the end of 2025, but it was before we had the Code of Ordinances and discussions about removing all the fees from the ordinance itself. So we would just be doing that as well here. And we would have just referring to the fee schedule. No other changes would be made.
Which chapter?
It would need to go
25.
into, yes, chapter 25, miscellaneous.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-74 to amend the sections A, B, C, and D compost facility regulations into chapter, what did we say, 25?
Yes. Okay, we have a motion by Jimmy. I have a second.
I will second.
Okay, Joni seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of amending section 4 ABCD of ordinance 2025-74, compost facility regulations and placing it in Chapter 25. Say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We have finished the ordinance, and we will move on to discussion and possible action on amending Resolution 2026-02 fee schedule. So you have the fee schedule with you. You can see the changes that were made. We have the alcohol, we have the agent change, and then we have for the fee for each license, it'll be $5 if for wine, and if you also obtain the license for fermented malt beverage retail license, that will also be just $5. And then we have, what do we have?
Agent just refers to the name, or what does the agent refer to?
The agent is someone that is picked by whatever the location is to basically be in charge and monitor where all their alcohol is at. They're in charge, basically, of the whole thing. And they have to designate an
Designate a person?
agent,
Oh,
a
okay.
person to be an agent.
Interesting.
And sometimes, like she said, there can be a change of agent, whether it's because maybe the person who was the agent before is no longer working for the company. Like with Busy Barnes, the agent is, I believe it's either Afton or her husband, but with some of the other ones, it's just someone who's hired to work there.
So if the agent changes, why would we charge a fee? Is there paperwork involved
There's
with that?
paperwork
Okay,
involved.
that's
Yes, I have to report it to the state.
fine. Okay,
Right.
that's fine.
So again, there's added clarification for the temporary license, for the licensing permitting. We added the regular and above quota licenses on the header. For the motorboat violations, it was originally minimum of $10 and maximum of $50 for the first offense, and we just changed it to $50 for the first offense. And then for the second and subsequent offenses, we removed minimum of 20 and a maximum of 50 to a maximum of 100.
Did we vote on those
What's that?
changes? Did we change it as a board to $50 for a first offense? And $100 for second and subsequent?
Correct.
Did
I
we?
think your
No,
question,
no.
your question is do we recommend, who's recommending that change? Do we do that,
The
or you
maximum
recommend?
was originally 50, instead of having a range, just have the 50. And then originally, we had it to increase, so the double for the 50 is
Right.
100.
Who recommended the change?
Right. How did that come about?
Oh,
Is that something we just did and we're going to approve it now, or is that from the past?
I
don't- I
believe
don't
it was
remember.
from the past, that it was on the ordinance but not on the fee schedule.
Yeah. I remember talking about the range, and there was discussion about the range, because then we said, I think at
Well-
one point, then it would be up to the officer, but yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember just jumping to $50 for a first offense instead of having a minimum and a maximum.
Do you know the,
I don't
the
know
fees?
for sure, but the reason we wanted to get rid of the minimum and the maximum is because then who is going to make that decision
The
where
judge.
that falls?
Right.
If I like you, Jimmy, I maybe
Right.
give you $10. If I don't like you, Vanessa, then I say you have to pay $100. I think that's what the
Right.
thought process was with it.
right? And
Well,
think-
the judge would make the final
Right,
decision.
I think we actually mentioned that too, remember? I think we actually said that when we went to a solid fee, and we said they could appeal it, and the judge would,
would lower, could
could
lower
decide.
it. And we did this for the compost, too. We,
or maybe that's what I'm thinking.
there was,
I don't
we had
remember that.
discussions on that, we would just have a flat
But that's
fee
not-
instead of this range, because
Mm-hmm.
then, what is the range for? If we're not listing exactly what a $10 violation is versus a $50 violation, what is the purpose of that? You really need to identify.
It should be based on first, second, third,
Right.
fourth offense,
Right.
that type of thing.
Right,
I
so
agree
the
with
first
that.
offense would be 50, and typically we double it for second and subsequent.
But don't, ordinances usually have a minimum and a maximum, don't they?
Well, that's what we're trying to,
I mean,
Get
I'm
rid of.
asking.
I don't see any other one up here having, okay, there's some minimum and maximum for vicious dogs, but otherwise, okay, direct violations. I'm just looking at others that have minimum and maximums.
Yeah. I guess I don't remember that we did that,
Direction commissions.
because, I mean, I just assumed that most of the ordinances do have a minimum and a maximum.
yes, but we've been talking about getting rid of that. Because who decides what the minimum
The
is?
judge does.
What's that?
Well, the person issuing it has to know what the,
What the reason,
Guidelines.
otherwise they can't issue the ticket.
right. So if
Okay.
there's a range, how do you determine if you're going to do the upper range or the lower range? When there is nothing in the ordinance that states what it before. If you violated the ordinance, why would you issue a $10 versus a $50?
Okay.
So we're taking it out of the hands of the officer at that point and putting it in the hands of the judge if the person chooses to take it to court.
If they contest the ticket.
If they contest the
Yeah, the
ticket.
officer's gonna write a ticket based on whatever the fee schedule is, which is transferred into our track system, which is how we issue the tickets.
Okay.
So if it's a first offense, they're gonna use the $50. If it's second offense, they're gonna use what did you guys say?
$100.
$100.
Then that person has a right to, any person has a right to contest an arrest, which is a citation.
Sure.
And they can ask the judge to lower it, or, I know she likes to do community service and that type of thing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so after all that, I believe we had a motion. No, we don't have a motion.
yet.
Any further questions before someone would like to make a motion?
Did we go through all the changes?
Yes, I believe so.
I'll make a motion to approve the fee schedule. Is it 26-02 as presented?
Okay, have a motion. Someone like to
I'll
second?
second it.
Okay, we have a motion and second for amending Resolution 2026.
I'd just like to make a comment on that. One thing nice about having this in a separate document is if we do hear problems, or if there's anything we need to address, now we can go directly to that spot and we can address it.
Exactly,
So
that's the whole point.
if there's a problem, we can come back to this fee schedule now and address that. So I
And it'll
just
be a
wanted
lot easier. And then, then anybody, the officers or anybody else who needs to issue the violation can just go to the fee schedule and pull that out. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor of amending Resolution 2026-02 fee schedule, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Let's move on to approval of disbursements. You have that on your desk. So, are you going to take over that duty, David?
I think Joan, I think is decided.
I'm sitting in the spot, right?
Volunteered.
Yeah,
All right, fair enough.
There you go.
I'm not, so here's
Here's
the
21.
deal, right? But you're going to think I'm crazy here.
That's okay.
I'm going to go back to how it was read last time and written because it's just easier for me to say that.
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion to accept disbursements, starting with the check number 2123 from APG Media on June 3rd, 2026, for a credit of $3.81.
Yep.
Okay.
We had to, apparently there was an overpayment, and rather than keeping the credit on our account, which APG Media is where we do all of our publishing, I would have thought they would have left it there, but no, they returned the check to us. So
Okay.
that's the way I had to void the
All
original
right.
check.
And through check 2211 on 6/16/2026 for $1,669.79 for a grand total of $130,988.45.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, a motion a second?
I have a question.
Okay.
I mean, you did good,
Oh,
but I have a problem with check number 2184. In looking at the bill,
There it is.
it was not a clear bill to me for the Axley charges, and I would like that check held until we get explanation on some of the charges in the bill.
Air gas?
No, the Axley bill. He will put more clarification moving forward, but
That was after the last statement that we got. He said it would be clarified, and now we got a new statement. It's still not clarified
well, he's
on the
got,
last statement or on the present statement.
okay, well, I did request that again, and so it's been discussed and that he will add additional, but it is for services rendered. It does have information on there. The items that are listed that he worked on is the
Just says town issues
Well,
for
it was-
several charges. What
Yes.
are those town issues?
He had also listed what he was working on, and those were the items that we discussed.
2 of the days on there. One is right before the annual meeting where we discuss some of the things that could go on at the annual meeting, and the other one I noticed is the day after the meeting. I'm just saying. I noticed that when looking at the bill.
Yeah, and-
So 2 of those were having to do, I'm sure, with the meeting.
Yeah, some of it had to do with that, but a
But-
lot of it had to do
yeah.
with the issues that he had been working on.
He hadn't clarified the last statement either.
Okay, I've
and
asked
I-
him to do
Oh.
that.
And I also sent him an email.
And he responded with one email, and now he's back from, I believe, from paternity leave.
Yes,
Okay.
he'll
this
be,
week.
I would just like that check held until we get more clarification. I'm not putting I'm a signature on the checks, and I'm not signing that check until I get more clarification.
okay, well, signing it and approving it are two different things. It is for services rendered that I can verify that those were services that we received, and they should be paid.
So you're confident that actually
Yes,
services that were billed were 100%?
correct,
For the 1,712.50?
Yes. yes.
Because it just says town issues, conversation with town chair for town issues. So of course she's going to agree to it.
Well, he did discuss with me, if it wasn't conversations I had, I would go back and say,
Okay,
That's
but
not
you don't have
correct.
notes on any of this. And
I
he
do
doesn't
have notes, and I just told you that what was also listed that he had worked on were the items that we discussed. That
But-
was listed as other things he had working on in other parts of the invoice, that was.
Okay, you never explained.
I did, and last month we talked about that the items that he works on are items then that we discuss, whether it's before or after he does some, research on.
Well, you told me it could be confidential items like sex offender, but those were listed outright. I mean, it
Yeah.
did list that. But that's different than the ones that just say
Well,
town
he
issues.
he was working on those separately.
Whatever, I'm
And-
not voting for this.
Okay.
I would like that check held.
Okay, well, I don't believe it should be held, and I will make a motion to approve all the checks, including,
Well, we've
We
already
have a
got a
motion.
motion
Okay.
and a
We
second.
We have a motion
All right.
and a second, so.
Do we have a second? Who made the
I
second?
made the second.
Jimmy did? Okay.
So Joy, you're concerned that he is is being paid for services that were not provided, or you're
I'm just-
concerned about what the services were and you would like more detail about what he's talking with the chair about? Is that kind of really where it is?
Well, yes, because the last statement, I ended up just signing it, and it was good to go. And it was a total of like $1,200. Now, this statement, it's the same town issues. Well, what town issues?
He also verified or stated in the email that he would try to provide more of it, but he keeps some of it vague, so we are not subject to open records requests.
But all the other things like the sex offenders and all, the solar, all that he has listed on, that he may be doing work on, those are the same things that we're talking about. So there's things that
All
he
right.
works on separately
You've
that
got
don't.
a motion and a second.
Okay, all right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, correspondence. Wendy, do you have any correspondence that you would like to?
I do not have anything. I sent a few emails regarding, I think, some classes that were being offered from WTA. Another one about a class, I believe it was in, I want to say Stevens Point, I sent you guys, where they were supposed to be talking about collaboration between villages and which I understand that's a little far away, but I think with some of the conversations that are going on regarding fire and EMS and things like that, there were topics there that would be very beneficial because they are discussing how this municipality and that one are maybe sharing, say, a road building project or something like that. So they were talking about ways that people could, or villages, townships, whatever, could collaborate to provide services and maybe make it easier for both of them. So those are really the only things that I had in correspondence, were just a few of those things that I sent to you. Nothing that, you
Okay.
know, I just forwarded them so you could see them.
Well, I
thank
think
you.
also Melissa had sent you her cable report for May, and that didn't get forwarded to the board.
I've never typically forwarded those. If they need to be forwarded, or if she would like them forwarded to everyone in the board, I can certainly do that. But I've
Would
never
you
provided
please,
those in the
on
past.
her monthly report, I thought that we had discussed that they should
No.
be sent to the board. Anyway, I made a copy for everybody.
Okay, so
Sorry.
we'll just, please forward that when you receive it.
Yep, I can.
And
Okay.
also Charter sent a letter along with the first quarter franchise fees, and I made a copy of that for everybody
Yes,
on
it
your
has now
table.
been received.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Future agenda items. Now that our attorney is back, he will have an opportunity to review and comment on the solar farm permit application and help us create any conditions for that to protect the town of Oakland. So we will have that on the agenda next month, and I will ask him for an update on the audit as well. He'll be here for that. And do you have any other statutory items that need to be on?
No statutory items that I'm aware of. Tomorrow and Thursday will probably be spent typing up all of these licenses, and because some of the owners were under the impression that they were still using last year's, where there were A licenses also, they turned in checks using those old fees, but since they're no longer doing A's and B's together, there will be some refund checks that will have to be cut. But the reporting on all of the licenses has been done. The reporting, the maintenance of effort that has to be done. I spoke about that last time, how we could lose 15% of our state aids if we didn't get that turned in on time. I got all the reports in from the various ambulance and fire departments. That is done, that is taken care of. The other one that needed to be done was a non-taxable property report, and those are all in to the state.
Great.
So there shouldn't be anything. I want to bring forward the budget versus actual report. What I want to do is when I send out the minutes, since we're doing those ahead of time now, so you have a chance to look at them, I'm going to send you this report, and I want you to let me know which accounts ahead of time that you might like to see investigated a little further. Since I'm not the one who actually put the budget together, I came in November after it was already, you guys finalized it, I keyed it, but I have no idea what things Susan put where. Some of them are very simple wages, I can figure that out, but we have one account that's called business office supply, or building office supplies. I have no idea what that refers to, no idea whatsoever. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at a prior year to find out what kinds of things went in there, so I can better explain to you, should you question it, what these things are. So that will be the thing. This is one last thing I wanna bring up. I have the video here. I asked you guys before for a date, if you could come up with, the video itself is going to last roughly a half an hour. This is the book that we're gonna look at with the exam in it. So I looked it up, and Board of Review training can take anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours, depending on what you're using. But this, like I said, this will take about a half an hour, and then we'll go through the exam that's in here. So if you could get back to me with a couple of times that might be convenient for you to sit down and watch it, and then to go through this. I don't care if you guys want to come in early before a board meeting. I don't care if you have some other day or evening, like afternoon, that would work better for you, but just let me know so we can go ahead and go over it before we know it. You know, it'll be coming up, and I just think it will help you if you have some idea how things are going to work before we get in there. And Jimmy, I think you said you did the training before. I don't know if you guys have ever been through Board of Review or know what it's about or anything, but it was helpful to sit down and watch it and see what's going to happen. And there are also papers in here that we can use if we do have trials, whatever, come up. There are examples in there.
So if we can coordinate, it would be best if we can coordinate it.
Do you want to watch it? Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I
should
mean-
get together, just schedule a separate meeting.
Yeah, let's schedule something that we can send some dates to Wendy about this. I think it's really important. Joy and I have both taken the training, but it's always good to revisit it. We didn't take it that long ago, but this is a year when there is some new assessments going on, so it would be a good idea to have everyone really on
Are you available during
board.
the day, Jimmy, or is
I will
evening better?
be after this week for a bit, yes.
Would you prefer to do a 9 in the morning
Yeah.
kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or something, yeah,
Sure.
I mean,
What about
does
you,
that work
David?
for you?
It doesn't make any, I'm here.
I know, you're here, but you have things you need to do.
As long as it's not a Monday morning, every other week when I'm doing payroll, we're all good. Any other day of the week, 9 o'clock in the morning is perfectly fine.
Good with me also.
I'm pretty flexible, I just needed to, I have other commitments that I need to take care of, but they can be flexible, so I don't know if you two throw some dates out.
Why don't you,
And then
since you
we'll-
do have some commitments with your mom,
Yeah, but those are flexible.
They're flexible?
That's the deal,
Okay.
those are flexible. So.
Well, why don't everybody send something to Wendy with a few dates on it, and then we'll check the schedules, and we will send out a date and an alternate date. And
We've got the DVD player Laura brought in that I just have to make sure works. And Tom said that we could use your TV as long as we let him know ahead of time.
okay.
So we can have it up on the big screen.
Okay, all right, so we will plan on that, and we'll do it a little bit in advance so we can put out a notice that we will be having this, and we'll just having this on the agenda. Okay, all right, we will move on then.
Well, are we still taking for future?
Oh,
Agenda item.
yeah, okay.
Yes, I would like to request that the Cambridge Fire and EMS be placed on the July agenda to begin the conversation and appoint a member or members to be liaisons between the town and the fire and EMS
commission to make reports to the board in the same manner that Enbridge reports have been made, due to the fact that there is as much concern from the residents with the fire and EMS as there is with the Enbridge oil leak.
Okay. Is there a second?
Okay?
She just
I'm
did a
requesting,
request, she didn't make a motion.
Oh, okay.
do I have to make that in a motion? Or can I request that be on the July?
You made a request, and that's what I wrote down.
Oh, okay.
Will it be on the July agenda?
For liaison?
To start a conversation, to begin the conversation and possibly appoint a member or members to keep track, to be the liaison as part of the conversation.
No, I'm not going to just put that on there. I would put on the agenda after, I would put on the discussion for the commission after they provide the town of Oakland a comprehensive proposal approved by all the municipalities within the commission, and after the town's attorney has ample time to review. That would be what I would, when I would put
You
on.
won't just put on the agenda so we can have a conversation. We can't talk to each other about our opinions, or, what we feel should be done with the fire and EMS, if we should even consider going back, or why won't you
Okay,
put a
well-
conversation on the agenda? Because we can't talk to each other unless we
I
have it on
think
the
a
agenda.
proposal would start that conversation.
Yeah, okay.
What?
I said, I think a proposal would start that conversation.
Yeah, so that's what
Okay.
I would be willing to do. So that we can't have any further discussion right now. This is not on our agenda.
So, okay. If I make a motion, to place the Cambridge Fire and EMS on the July agenda to begin a conversation. As next April, we might have, half of the board members might be different.
Okay, you just need to make the motion right now.
And
What is
that's
your
part of my
motion?
motion, because we need to start the conversation now. We've been asked to do that by the residents
Okay,
that
this is
voted
more
for
than
us.
a motion. You need to have a succinct motion.
Okay. I make a motion that the Cambridge Fire and EMS be placed on the July agenda to begin the conversation, and possibly appoint a member or members to be whatever that word's, between the town and the Fire and EMS Commission, and make reports back to the board in the same manner that Enbridge reports have been made, due to the fact that this is as much of concern to our residents as the Enbridge oil leak has been. That's my motion.
I guess I don't understand, because I'm new to this,
Hold on,
a lot.
hold on. Chair?
Chair, okay, we just have a motion on the floor. We can't have discussions besides motion and,
So we
A
can't
second.
ever have a discussion about
Not
this
right
unless
now.
we have a motion.
No, it's not. It's gotta
I
be on
made
the
a motion, it
agenda.
needs a second, and then we can discuss.
Is that true? We can't ever discuss it without a second, without a motion to discuss it?
You have to have a,
It has
we have
be
to have a
on the
motion.
agenda.
It
It has to be on the agenda in order for it to be discussed, so is my understanding. So
Yes.
the motion can be made, a second
Second
can
can
be
be-
made. The discussion won't be held at this time, the
Right.
discussion would be held at the meeting.
And I'm going to second it. I don't understand why we can't have a discussion about it. So I don't know what that means, and it might send me down some rabbit hole that I don't want to go, but I don't understand.
Okay,
And
Thank
and
you.
I, yeah.
So
The
you
comments, I second it. So
okay.
we can
so
go there.
Second it. Okay,
That doesn't, yeah.
all right. We have a motion and second. I would like to make an amendment that we have a discussion after we have a comprehensive proposal from the Fire Commission, approved by all the municipalities within the commission, and after the town's attorney has ample time to review, as then we can have a more productive conversation to determine how the town of Oakland would like to proceed, as at this time, we have no real information from the Fire Commission.
I'll second your amendment.
Okay. So,
Have discussion on that?
no, we can't have discussion. We talked about it.
A
with the-
motion is made and seconded, we can have discussion on the motion.
We discussed this last month. The WTA has clarified that for future agenda items, we can have a motion and a second, and we can vote on it. But we can't really have a discussion because it is not on, this topic is not on our agenda. It's not on our agenda. All we can do is just say we are going to do this or not. We cannot talk about the validity of it and what we're going to be doing because it is against open meetings. So this is all we can say at this point. So there is an amendment on the floor and a second. So all in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Nay.
Can't abstain, right?
No, you can't abstain. You
Very
have to,
confusing.
you have to either say yes or no. So far we have,
I thought they could abstain.
no, you
Okay.
cannot,
All right.
cannot abstain.
I didn't know.
You can't, you cannot abstain.
And then I will say yes.
Okay.
And David?
I will say yes.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
So the amendment passes
And so-
4-1.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to listen
So
to
what are you, you're saying that that will be on the agenda for next month?
No.
and we will
No,
have a
only if
conversation?
there is,
She's
All
saying
this
that it
other
won't be
stuff.
on the agenda until basically the commission has everything in line, which they're just starting. And we can't,
You can't have
Okay, let's
discussion.
not having this
Yeah.
discussion. What I have
Just
proposed,
trying to clarify what
okay,
what got
so
going here.
the amendment is that once we have a comprehensive proposal from the Fire Commission approved by the municipalities, we put it on the agenda so we have actually concrete information to discuss. At this time, we do not have any concrete information to discuss. Okay, so,
so do you want to keep your yes vote or no vote?
I'm keeping my yes vote, but I'm changing how I attend other meetings. So the only way I can know about the Fire Commission and what they're doing is to
Okay.
attend that meeting.
all right, so that sounds good. Let's move on then.
Well, you didn't vote on the original motion.
You have to vote on the original motion with the amendment.
I know, I'm getting to that
Okay,
part.
I'm sorry.
I just
Well,
didn't
you
want to.
said we'll move on.
We'll move on from the discussion that she was having to the vote, is what I was trying to say. So we're going to move on to voting on the amended motion. Do you want me to repeat?
Well, I thought we just voted, they just voted
We
on the
voted on
amended.
the amendment, then we have to vote on the amended motion. That is Robert's rules. It's
What?
the same thing.
You voted on the amended motion and,
Point of order.
Point of order. You vote on an amendment to the motion, and we voted on the amendment, and now we have to vote on the amended motion. This is how it works. This is Robert's Rules of Order.
okay, but when do you,
I'm
I
doing
thought that's what we just voted on, was the
No.
amended motion.
amendment to the motion. So now we will go to the amended motion was to have it on the, in this case, it's the same, but it can be very different.
So you're talking about the original amended motion? I don't understand.
Okay.
You have to vote twice on an amended motion?
You vote once on the amendment, then you vote on the amended motion. The amendment was to put it on the agenda at a different time than that was the amendment. And now we're going to vote on the amended motion to put it on the agenda once we have a comprehensive proposal. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Okay.
Now you're going to vote on my original motion?
No.
I don't understand.
The original motion was
Amended.
So my motion doesn't ever get voted on.
It was amended.
So, no, it
No,
didn't
it
get
does not.
voted on as
It doesn't
was.
get voted on.
Okay.
No.
All right, let's move on to the next thing, the Cable Commission. I request that,
Joy, before you continue, can I briefly pause the recording real fast?
okay.
Okay, now you guys may continue.
I request that the Cable Commission franchise, or the franchise fees that we've received for first, second, and third, or January, February, March, be paid to
We cannot
the
vote on
Cable
that.
Commission.
We cannot vote on that
Why?
because we're in future agenda items, and that is not a future agenda item. You're
I
asking,
would like to place that as a future agenda item, that we pay the franchise fees.
we already have an approved motion and vote when the cable company will be placed on the agenda. So
Okay, I would like to renew a motion.
we cannot renew that right now.
Okay, but you just said that regarding the Axley bill, those are services that have been provided. We need to pay it.
The franchise fees are not for services provided.
We have services that have been provided for the last 6 months,
The
and then,
franchise fees are not for services
Okay.
provided.
I would like to move that the Cable Commission be paid for services that have been rendered.
We cannot do that at this time.
Well, there was also a vote in February that no more fees would be paid until we had the cable situation straightened out.
So
That
we-
was the motion made by Jimmy.
And approved.
And it was,
Approved.
last month, we had another motion.
Not to pay any fees.
Okay, we made a motion in February not to pay the fees until we've ironed this out. Last month, we voted, and that one was unanimous, so that includes you, in February. Last month, we voted to put the Cable Commission on the agenda once we have a budget and bylaws. So we've already made a motion, and we approved when the cable will be back on and when the
Okay. There is no statutory requirement for bylaws for a commission. I would like to make a motion that we
we need,
put the Cable Commission on the agenda.
we made a vote last month. We need to stick with the vote that we had. We cannot revisit that. We've already voted on that. So we're not having that on the agenda.
Okay, well,
So
then I would like to have, does anybody read this? Book?
yes,
I just got it today, or one.
I would like to have the emergency management plan put on the agenda for July. The towns are required for implementing a consistent statewide emergency management system.
okay. Please provide information for it.
Well, we have it. Everybody has this.
Okay.
Do you want me to give everybody a copy of this?
Oh, do we have an emergency management plan through the county? Is that what?
No, it's, our town's required to adopt an emergency management plan. Towns,
Yes,
yes.
we've adopted the counties. We voted on that a couple of months ago.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An emergency management
Yes,
plan?
because the document was the one that I was told that was so long not to print off copies for you guys, and I gave you the link out to the website.
Okay.
Because she said it was
We made a
hundreds of pages
resolution
long.
to, we made a resolution to adopt it and send it to the county, but if
All
you would
right.
like to discuss it,
I will
we
resend
can,
the resolution.
we can send it to everybody and put it on the agenda for discussion. But
Okay.
we do
Do we
have one in
have
place.
a,
We adopted the one that
We
the
adopted the
has.
county has.
I'll resend the copy
We
of
can
the
resend it and we could
resolution,
discuss
I'll
the
do
details of it if you would
the-
like.
And I'll do the link also to the plan
Mhm.
on the
okay,
county page.
I would make a motion to appoint an emergency management officer according to what is in our WTA magazine. Have that put on the agenda.
I'll have to research that as we have we are covered under the county. I am not sure if,
We had an emergency management officer in the past, Ted Bratney was it?
okay, we can put that on there, that's fine. But we'll have to review and see what the requirements are and the responsibilities for
Well,
that.
also see what the county
Mhm.
plan has to say about
Mhm.
reporting.
Because we don't have a place set up for people to go to in an emergency situation.
We'll put that on the agenda and we will discuss it. Okay, we need to we'll put
Okay.
that on there. Okay, so let's move on then to public comment. Okay, hearing none. Our next meeting is July 21st, 2026.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did we have the shredder out here?
Yes,
operating?
we did.
I thought I saw it one day. That was.
Yes,
Yes, they were out here. They shredded
Can we
everything.
get Jeff on the agenda to fill us in on how that went and what his opinions?
Yeah, we can definitely discuss that. It went pretty well.
I think he'll tell you he was happy with that, but now the pile of stuff that we have out there, he'll basically tell you one pile was moved into a different pile because the pile that we have out there is still not small enough that we could really, like maybe tell citizens to come in and pick it up or something like that, like mulch. It didn't shred it that small.
So
But yeah, he can come in and he
Yeah,
could talk to you about it, but that's just what he's told me
so
about
it'd
it.
still be a disposal issue?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
With
But
the-
if you would like him to
No,
come and talk about it, we
If
can,
he possibly could.
yeah, we can discuss that in.
Maybe we'll get him to bring in his new employee then, as long
Yes.
as he's coming. His name is David Friend, I think. It's Freund. And he started on the 1st and so far seems to be catching on to everything very well.
Is he a young man?
He's fairly young. Yeah, he's younger. I would guess maybe late 20s, early
Is he
30s,
from
maybe.
Whitewater, by chance?
No.
Is it
No.
F-R-E-U-N-D?
It's
That would be
F-R-E-U-N-D.
Freund.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how it was pronounced. I just saw it on
Well,
the sheet
if
of
it's the
paper.
Cambridge area,
Okay.
we do have that name.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's from the Cambridge area.
Okay.
So I will ask him if he is available this month,
That'd be
this coming month. If he's not, I will let you know and he could come another time. And then he may have an update for other projects. I had planned on him coming later this summer, once we had a few projects completed,
told
so
me.
we can discuss that.
He told me he was finishing up with Wolf
Wolf
Road,
Road.
whatever the
So-
project was there. And
Yeah.
then he was going to start mowing, because I had a lady call today about, when are you going to start mowing the ditches? And he said, tell her, weather dependent, I'll
Yeah.
start this
What
afternoon.
about
So-
the roads?
What's that?
What about the roads?
I'll
talk
have him
about
come in
roads.
and we'll have him talk
Okay.
about the roads.
I just didn't know if that was.
Yeah, he's our roads guy, so
There's the calendar.
at
there is
that
a calendar
time,
of that somewhere? Okay.
when he comes in, we can ask him any questions. But if you have anything in the meantime that is pressing, you can feel free to give him a call and ask him any questions that you
Or
have.
like the day that you contacted me about the tree that was down,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
got a hold of him and let
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
know about it.
But
Yeah,
otherwise,
yeah.
he'll come in, and if he's available,
Thank you.
Perfect.
okay. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Somebody has to make a motion before we can
Second
second.
it.
I thought you made the motion.
No, I'll entertain a motion.
Entertain the motion.
Okay, David made a motion, and
I will second.
I'll second. Okay, all in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much.